Oh boy. Synced. Sound is synced. ABC 1 2 3. You can hear me. How we doing, everybody? Another week, another episode of the Everybody and Their Mom podcast. The podcast that everybody and their mom is fucking listening to. How we doing? This is episode 71. Here we are. It is April 16th, noon, coming at you with another week, another episode. I was going to do it yesterday, but I was kind of caught up in the evening with paperwork. Some like new episodes dropped of Invincible and The Boys. Highly recommend. Invincible is really good right now. It's about to finish. As well as like some other stuff. But here again today, Thursday. Pardon me. Hope y'all are doing well, having a good day, good time so far. Sorry for the helicopter coming through. Making sure the sound is there. We are good. Let's do a quick recap of the week. Let's see. Yesterday, like I mentioned, paperwork and stuff in the evening. Parents came back from holidays. Had to pick them up from LAX on Monday. Sunday was kind of like a clean, like just clean. You know what I mean? Laundry. Fucking had a mop and shit, sweep, dust, all that good shit. Saturday watched UFC 327 card of the year. We'll probably talk about that more than this weekend's card. This weekend's card is not that strong on paper, but we'll see. What else happened? So that was then Friday. I believe I just saw like a movie. How we doing, bro? How we doing, Siles? Good to see you. Millhouse breaking into the Simpsons. That's funny. Oh man, the Simpsons, bro. Um, hope you're driving well, bro. Safe travels while you're not travels. Safe driving. While you're out there. I know. Dudes be inconsiderate for truckers. They don't let you merge sometimes. People they're annoying. People be cutting you off for like no reason, in traffic and stuff. But let's take a quick look for this UFC weekend. Let's start there. Um, it's just a quick rundown. So this past weekend, let's just go over the main card. The main card was probably one of the best cards of the year. I'm not gonna lie. There was one boring fight, the Reyes Walker fight, which is the one I thought would have gone to. I thought one of them wouldn't have finished, but they kind of both fought scared, like scared of each other's finishing ability, so they didn't want to exit. Like they didn't put themselves in position to get knocked out or finished. So kind of a boring fight. But Cub Swanson in his last fight ever pretty much took care of Landwehr in the first round. Hokit and Blades. If you guys had the opportunity to, I highly recommend going back and watching that. It was the fight of the year, probably the best, one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen ever. I think there was more than 300 strikes landed. Yeah, look, 214 and 181. Uh, it's just that Blades got way more hurt. He was way more cut, and I think he had dropped or like rocked at least twice. And then in the co-main, Paulo Costa head kick victory against Azamat. Costa looks a lot better at 205 than he did at 185. Yeah, 61 total strikes. Those body kicks really did a number. And then in the main event, man, I was so sad. He already had to lose. He lost, but Olberg. So what happened was Olberg was getting leg kicked a lot, and then he ended up tearing or straining. Might have hopefully not a tear. He fucked up his ACL. Like you could see his knee buckle, and he was just fighting on one leg. And Yuri was kind of fighting like hesitant, hands down, and Olberg just threw like a hail mary. I think it was a left overhead strike. Uh, it was one of those like, you know what I mean, like just duck down and just everything you got into one on one leg basically, and he rocked Yuri, and that was it. It was the first round as well. Yeah, so first round, first round, third round, and one of the best fights of the year. Um, Millhouse should have been there. The doorbell, the doorbell guy. That one's funny. I seen that video. It's that weirdo guy who was like standing at the door. Styles is talking about. If you guys have the chance, shoot, I'll pull it up right now. I'll pull it up right here. I think this is what he's talking about. It's like a ring camera guy. He was like arrested recently. This guy right here. Yeah, yeah. This dude. Yeah, he does look kind of look like Millhouse. That's funny. I'll play the video in a second. This guy was going crazy on in the camera. He was like, "Let me in now. Where is your daughter?" It was like, what the fuck? He was a weirdo. He got arrested like later on. But yeah, the fucking two submissions, Gamrot, Suarez, and then the early prelims, yeah, Gaslam. Maderos, Padilla, good for, yeah, overall, this is card of the year. Really, really good. It was one of those that I wish like more people would have watched, because it was one of those that's like, yeah, this is why UFC is fucking that's like why I watched UFC. But for this weekend, it's not the best card on paper. I'm not even gonna lie. Like most of these fighters, I've never seen fight. A lot of people making their debuts. So, and part of that is with the fact that Wrestlemania is this weekend, so that they don't want to take shine away from that, because the same company that owns UFC also owns WWE. So it's like conflicting interest. They don't want to, they want the main show to be the main show. So like right here, it's in fucking Winnipeg in Canada. So we got a guy making his debut against Yanis. I think Siraj wins because debut. But yeah, a lot of these are gonna be just quick predictions. Not a lot of yeah, 21-8 against debut Russian dude. Yeah, give me the Russian dude. Give me Volgan. I'll always be leaning the Canadian fighters in these. JJ, oh, she's kind of. Well, Jamie's not that good either. Oh, she's a pudgy. Yeah, okay. Give me North or Horth. I mean, Horth taking her top 15 ranking. Croden against Daria. Oh, I think Daria is actually really good. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different lady. 5'9" Canadian against 5'9" Russian. I think give me Daria for her debut. Tanner against Sarikam. We got 21-10 Canadian against someone's making his debut. Give me the debut fighter. Actually, Bosser looks a little more in shape, so I'll go Bosser. There's LeBlanc against Valentine. Oh yeah, this guy's for sure lock. LeBlanc for a lock. That one should be a lock of victory. Once we get to the higher, towards the end of the prelims, then we have Dennis against Barbosa. Ooh, Barbosa. Yeah, Barbosa making his debut, and he is the featured prelim bout. Then we have Moses against Young. I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen any of these fighters fight up until this point. I think I'll go with Young here. I think from here is where I've seen the fighters. Yeah, Jasmine against Kareem Silva. Vicious or Silva? I'll go Silva because she looks like Mejia's girlfriend if she was Brazilian. Let me see. Herbert against Nalo. I think I'll go. Herbert's coming off a loss. Yeah, I'll go Nalo. Okay, then we got Jourdain and Phillips. Well, this is actually a pretty good fight. Probably go Jourdain here. I like Jourdain's footwork. And then Malat Gilbert Burns has lost like so many in a row. Malot's, yeah. Give him a lot. That's it for UFC. There's not much this weekend, like I mentioned. Last weekend was the big shine. It was the big event. It was the numbered bout. This week is like, they're in the middle of Winnipeg in Canada. They're not sitting there. They're best fighters. If anything, we're going to see Malott taking Burns' top 15. Jourdain should win because he's Canadian. Nalo should win because he's a debut Canadian. Vicious and Silva should be a good fight for women's. Gage Young, we'll see. But yeah, it's just really those last three fights that I'm mainly interested in. If anything, the last two, Jourdain and Burns. Well, Jourdain and Mallet, seeing them win. As far as that, though, I wouldn't bet on anything else except for LeBlanc because he is Canadian making his debut in the second featured prelim. So if there were two I would bet on, it would be Jourdain and Malott, though, for this one. As far as our next topic, let's go into NHL. Shout out to Siles for keeping me updated. For his Las Vegas Golden Knights, they made the playoffs. They clinched their number one. So shout out to them. Shout out to Farron with his Ducks. Go Ducks, and I guess go Kings. I guess, right? Not too sure, but let's take a look. Let's Ooh, this would be fun. Okay. So let's start in the East. We got Buffalo versus Boston. Tampa against, what is that? MTL. I don't know what this is. Montreal, okay. Against Carolina, and is that Ottawa? Yeah, Ottawa, and then Pittsburgh and Philly. Okay. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh against Carolina, and then I'm gonna go Montreal against Buffalo. Yeah. I think Boston's really good too, though. I don't want any of these teams to win. That's the funny part. I'm not. Well, if the Penguins win, that'll be cool. Okay, so kind of. So give me the Penguins. Give me Carolina. Give me Montreal. Yeah, I'm for sure confident about Montreal and Carolina. Those are like the two that I'm like confident in. The other two, Boston and Buffalo, I think anybody can win that one. And Pittsburgh, Philly is, I think, a true coin flip. So, Buffalo or Boston? I think Buffalo. All right, give me Buffalo, Montreal, Carolina, Pittsburgh. Those four. And then the other side, we got the Avalanche. Excuse me, Avalanche against the Kings. And then we have the Stars of Dallas against Minnesota. Is it Wild, I believe? And then we have the Kings against the Utah, the Mammoth. Okay, and then we have the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers against the Ducks. Oh boy. So the ones I'll be going for there is going to be the Kings against, I think, Minnesota, against Vegas and Anaheim. So it should be Ducks versus Knights after first round. Wild versus Kings. And then on the other side, which I think would be a lot harder to predict, is going to be Boston versus Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal. And then Carolina and Pittsburgh. And from there, I would say, let's start out west this time. If the Kings play the Wild, I think it would be the Kings versus Vegas. I think it's going to be Kings versus Vegas because of how the late season surge that both teams have had. So I think it'll be LA. It'll be Kings versus Vegas in the West. And then in the East, I think is going to be Boston versus Pittsburgh. And in the finals, I think is going to be Vegas versus. What did it? That's weird how I went to that. Vegas versus Boston or Pittsburgh? I think Pittsburgh. Yeah, Vegas versus Pittsburgh in the cup. And I don't know who's gonna win the final. I'll be rooting for the Kings though, for Siles. That'd be fun if Siles' team wins. But yeah, I'm rooting for like the actual teams I'm rooting for would be the Golden Knights, Ducks, or Kings. Any of those three win, it's a win for me. Let's see when the playoffs begin. They begin on Saturday, same as the NBA playoffs. They'll be on at the same time. So we got NBA playoffs this weekend, NHL playoffs this weekend, and Wrestlemania this weekend. Big weekend of sports, boys. Let's jump right into because I just did the. Well, let's do game one predictions now. Let's see. All right, Senators, Hurricanes. Give me the Hurricanes at home to win the first home game. Wild or Stars. I think the Wild wins game one, but the Stars win game two. Well, we'll get to that when that happens. Flyers, Penguins. Penguins win at home. Bruins, Sabres. Sabres win game one at home, I think. Then Bruins still game two. Mammoth, Golden Knights. Give me Golden Knights and Canadians, Lightning. Give me the Lightning at home to win game one. But I think Canadians steal game two. And speaking of NBA, let's jump into the NBA playoffs now. This is why I wanted to do the podcast yesterday because I was gonna pick. I think I was gonna pick the Clippers for sure. I was gonna pick them, and they lost. So that was hilarious how they choked. And I believe I was gonna pick. Honestly, I didn't know it was gonna win in the Magic or Sixers. I know Seha said Magic, but yeah, honestly, I probably thought Magic too. I probably did think that too. The Sixers weren't that good, but they played hard at home. The playoffs have been great so far. The play-in tournament. I mean, the Heat and Hornets came down to overtime. I think it was what's his name? Kobe White made an incredible shot to force overtime. The Blazers. I read the young man's name. Dropped 40 on him. Denny Avdija dropping fucking 40 on these guys, like incredible. Yesterday the Sixers kind of handled the Magic late, but the Warriors Clippers was back and forth all game, and then the Clippers just came short in the end. They weren't able to buy a basket in the end, and Curry able to hit the go ahead shot to put him up by three from 30. And hey, congrats. We're now down to the last two teams, which is going to be the Hornets and Magic and the Warriors and Suns. In which case, I would have to go with the Warriors and probably the Hornets. Yeah, give me the Warriors and Hornets for tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow. And then for the playoffs, round one games, let's go with Raptors, Cavs. Raptors, Cavs. Give me the Cavs at home. Nuggets, Wolves. Give me the Nuggets. Hawks, Knicks. The Knicks. Rockets, Lakers. The Rockets, sadly. Sixers, Celtics. Celtics. Spurs, Blazers. Spurs. And that'll be it for game ones. Yeah, the playoffs are heating up. Heating up. They're just starting. Let me see the bracket. Because it is, if I had to predict two teams, I mean, you guys have been with me since the beginning. Oh, what the fuck? Why do they have it like that? So ugly. Let's go to ESPN. Theirs is probably much better. Yeah, a lot cleaner. Look at that, much cleaner. Yeah, the Thunder are for sure going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And then over here, yeah, it'll be okay. So I got it. It's going to be the Thunder versus the Nuggets or Spurs in the West. And then in the East, it's going to be the Pistons versus the Celtics. And if I had to pick, if I'd actually bet it right now, it would probably be Thunder versus Nuggets and Pistons versus Celtics. And if I had to actually bet it right now, it would probably be Thunder versus Celtics in the finals. And I'm going to have the Thunder repeating the NBA title again, sadly. I think the Thunder are one of the best, are on their way of being one of the best teams ever. I'm just watching them play, and fuck, man, like they kind of have everything. Like they have two big bodies that are long, score from the inside. They got guards up the ass that can all drop 20 or plus on you. They got good ass defenders that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty, aren't afraid to, go for steals, attack the basketball, go for rebound, do the dirty plays, like, and not just that, they have depth. Like they can go like 10 guys deep, and like, okay, SGA, are you tired? All right, cool. Sit for like 5 minutes, sit for half a quarter. It's cool, and they'll be fine. The refs have been kind of, if like, letting them play a little bit more in terms of like calling fouls. So hopefully that continues. But from what I've seen, I think the Thunder are really good. I don't think they're as good as they were last year. So I think, for example, when they play either the Nuggets or Spurs, I think that one goes to like 6 games. Probably, yeah. And then the finals, I think, could be like a 7-game series. I just think they beat the Nuggets or Spurs because since they're gonna play each other, the Nuggets and Spurs, I think they walk in kind of hobbled against the Thunder, and the Thunder just take care of business. Probably like in 5 or 6, yeah, like 5 or 6 games. Whereas the Pistons Celtics, that's a little, I don't know. Lakers too many bots, yeah. Yeah, dude, Lakers are like plus 600 underdogs. So or they probably went down now. I think now they're like 300 or so underdogs. Because a lot of money came in. Yeah, yeah. Too many basketball injuries for sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't blame you for being more into hockey right now. Your team is in a better position to win the title, to win the cup, than the Lakers are. I think the teams with the best chance right now is, yeah, definitely the Thunder. Uh, well, those 6 teams, five: Thunder, Nuggets, Spurs, Celtics, Pistons. But I don't think the Pistons are good enough this year. They're scrappy, but they're not. I don't think they're good enough. Um, the ideal. So I predict Thunder versus Celtics, and Thunder wins. But the one that I want would be Spurs versus Pistons. That would be great. That would be the one that, it'd be the most exciting for me to watch. But and then that one, I think the Spurs probably win. But yeah, the like I mentioned, playoffs begin this Saturday, same time as the NHL playoffs. Well, they're a little bit earlier, but they'll be all day. It looks like because they start at 10. Whereas NHL, when did they start at? 12. So like 2 hour difference. No big deal. Alrighty, let's jump into our next topic. Let me see. So that was since we were already mentioning it, let's jump into WrestleMania. Might as well. All this is happening in one day, but now WrestleMania is 2 days. So it's WrestleMania 42. Let's look at my buddy. Here we go. This is it. My buddy sent this to me. Hope y'all can see that. I don't have the best quality. Low key gonna watch both, but I'm gonna buy more Golden Knights apparel. Oh yeah, for sure. And then Lakers might sign like free agents this offseason. LeBron might leave, so who knows? You know, they're probably gonna have a whole new team next year. Well, not a whole new team, but I could see LeBron leaving, and with LeBron leaving goes his son, and they'll probably let go of Aiton also. I see the Lakers building themselves around Luca and AR, and then finding a big. They might go after Giannis. Lakers. I heard Kawhi is a free agent also, so there's that. So it's all up in the air. The two guys though are Luca and Reeves. Those are the two guys that they kind of can't move on from because both those guys could drop over 20 points a game consistently. They're probably not gonna pass the Rockets, no, unless they get Luca, basically more guys back from injuries because their two best players are out, and LeBron's like 41, playing on his last like spurts. That's not to say they can't make a series out of it. Injuries could happen. Like, what if Durant gets hurt? He's gotten hurt all what if he blows out his Achilles again? Who's to say that? And there's even talk of Luca returning. He just got some treatment done in Europe, so there's a possibility he might come back towards the end of the series. So who knows? It's up in the air. Well, they're +3. I think over. Let me see, what are the odds? Lakers odds against Rockets series. Let me see. Yeah, they're +400. They're 4-1. So Lakers are 4-1 underdogs. So if you got $100, go ahead, put it on the Lakers, win 400 back, win a little bit more. I'm still gonna watch, but not gonna attend no bars. Oh yeah, for the sports book, yeah. I heard you can bet on WWE. Is this true? I heard in some you can bet on WWE. Not like, well, kinda like, you know what I mean? Kind of like in the same way you can bet on the Super Bowl, like the fucking coin toss and shit. Kind of like that. But anyway, let's look at WrestleMania. Okay, so it's 2 nights, like we mentioned. Night 1 is on Saturday, night 2 on Sunday. They both begin at, well, night 1 starts at 3, and no, they both start at 3. Okay, cool. They're both at 3. We have a 6-man tag match. One side has Speed and Logan Paul. Okay, I'm gonna root for the side that doesn't have Logan Paul. So is that yeah, that's like what the fuck? Why is it like this? Oh, I see why. You guys can't really see. Sorry. Let's do that one. There we go. Better view. So one side has Logan Paul. I'm gonna go for the side that's anti Logan Paul. Randy Orton, watch out, watch out, watch out. Exactly. Then we have Fatu against McIntyre. That one should be decent. Is like no restrictions. Give me McIntyre. He's kind of fun to watch. And then we have a 4-team diva match. Oh boy. I hope they all have fun. Yeah, I hope they have fun. Okay, then they have Lynch against Lee. I hope they have fun. Literally during that time is when I'm gonna be watching the fucking. Oh, looking at this now, like it's not that good. Night one, like Gunter against Rollins. I'll be rooting for Rollins, but I feel like Gunter's for sure gonna win. And then they have Morgan against Vakwer. I guess Vakwer wins, and then in the main event is gonna be Orton and Rhodes with Pat McAfee being there as a guest. I'll be rooting for Randy, but I'm pretty sure Cody's gonna win. Um, so night one, the Cody Orton match should be fun. McIntyre Fatu should be fun. Seeing Speed and Logan get beat up should be fun. There's a lot of women's matches night one though. That's the one thing holding it back. Like you have 2 women's singles matches. Why? It should just be one. You got Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels, my favorite wrestler. Um, yeah, it should just be one. The Becky Lynch one doesn't look very promising. Uh, they should probably cut that one off the card. Not gonna lie. At least the team match is okay, and then I understand the other one because it's the main championship for the women's. So it's like okay, yeah. But now they made 2 women's like main belts, that's fucking weird. Okay, so we have night 2. Let's go to night 2, which immediately is already better because we have Rey Mysterio in this. What is this? Is it a 6-man tag match? No, it's a six-man ladder match. Look at that, already amazing. Night 2 is already better. So we have Lee, Rey Mysterio. I cannot really read that. Straight to the principal's office. No, it was the suck it. It was like the because it meant the that's what it meant. Like suck my. That's why they would get in trouble. Um. Okay, so immediately night one's already better. They have Rey Mysterio in a ladder match against 2 other. Fuck, I forgot that fucker's name. Is it Sin? No, that's not Sin Cara. It's well, yeah, I think it is. I forgot. Whatever. I'll be rooting for any of the masked dudes. And then second match, Brock Lesnar against Femi. I hope that's how I pronounce his name. I think Femi is one of the next big things. Then we have Zayn against Williams. Give me Zayn. He hasn't overstayed his welcome yet. And then they have Ripley against Cargill. I think Ripley wins it because Cargill has the belt. Oh, here we go. Then we have Dominic against Finn Balor. Give me Balor. And then the main event, Roman Reigns against CM Punk. Oh my gosh. Give me Roman Reigns. I think I don't like CM Punk. I'm not gonna lie. So give me Roman Reigns. Give me Finn Balor. This is already pretty good. Okay, so seeing Dominic and Punk lose, that's fun. One Divas match is already better. I don't know why the Brock Lesnar match isn't higher. That should be the co-main. And it's cool if he wins. And then the 6-man tag match. All right, it's already a lot better. I think night one is okay, like a C plus, B minus, and then night 2 is a like B plus, potential A minus if they have like badass guests come out. I hope they don't have John Cena come back. That'd be really whack. I heard that'd be really whack. I heard that's might be a possibility. Oh, let's see. What else was I gonna get into? It was what am I forgetting? Oh yes, sorry. MLB. The baseball standings. Alrighty. So from what I've seen so far is that the American League fucking sucks. As we can see here, The Rays are in first place because they have just one less loss from the Yankees. The Blue Jays are 3 games under 500, and they were just in the World Series. Then we have the Twins and Guardians. Cool. The Guardians should be the Indians. So I'm sorry, it's a hideous name. Guardians. And then we have the Athletics and the Angels at 9 and 10. So all these teams are pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. If there's one team I'll be rooting for, oh yeah, I'm in. The fuck? Well, they're not in the AL. They're in the NL then. Okay. If I were to root for one AL team, my buddy was the Orioles fan. I kind of like the White Sox logo and the Angels for Farron. So I'll be rooting for the Angels, the White Sox, or the Orioles. Mainly, none of them really. I'll be rooting for the Marlins though. Go Marlins. I'll root for them. Let me see. The Braves in first place. No, actually, yeah, in the East. But overall, the Dodgers at 14-4. Behind them, the Padres 12-6. Then followed by the Braves, Pirates, and Reds and Cardinals. So hey, the Diamondbacks are there too. Looks like the West is the deepest division as of right now, with the Dodgers, Padres, and Diamondbacks. But it's still really early in the season. Let me see the Braves, Pirate. Yeah, it's very, very much, the gap between like who's good and bad in the NL is much wider than the AL. I feel like American League they're all kind of within the same range, except for the White Sox, sadly. But I'll root for them. I don't mind. And then the West is the Rockies. I wouldn't root for the Rockies. I would root for the Marlins though. That's the only one in the NL. Just because I like the fish hat, the one with the F. I'll show it right now. This one right here. Oh boy, I like that right there. No, that's a hat. Dude, isn't it crazy that hats are like over $60 now? No, they were. Oh, they sold out on it. It's fine. Let me see. Let's shop a little bit. Perfect. Bro, this shit's $50 plus shipping. Jeez Louise. Hold on, let me put it right here. Look at this, bro. This is $50 for a hat. I don't think hats should be more than like $40 max after tax. So it should be like 35, like retail at most. But yeah, I like the Marlins because of that reason. The logo. Same with the Sharks. Where is it? Right here. For her baby. Bum, 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 bum. 42. So it'll be $50. Give me that shark. Yeah, baseball still real early in the season. Let me see. You got through UFC predictions and last weekend, NBA predictions, NHL predictions, and MLB. There's one last topic I want to cut through before we got to get out of here. That's the Avatar movie leaking. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, or if you're a fan of The Last Airbender, Golden Knights hat. All right, let's look it up right now. I like the Marlins and the Sharks hat though. Let me see. Vegas Golden Knights hat. Let me see. I like this one. That one's not bad. Fitted teamwear. Here we go. Not these. Damn it. I kind of like this one. This two-tone one. It's not bad. Where's their like NHL store? Yeah, NHL shop. Here we go. Now we're talking. There's a blue one? What the fuck? This is not bad. The Mitchell and Ness one, the Fanatics one. I think this is probably. I like this one. The gray. That was not bad. But still, why are hats like $50 now? That's ridiculous. The hats are so expensive in general. But I was saying Avatar. So if you guys are a fan of Avatar Airbender, the show, here's what happened. So on Netflix, they're coming out with the live action show. So like real actors, real people, special effects, CGI. They're doing their own thing. Whereas Paramount, who owns Nickelodeon, they have Paramount Plus, and they're doing their own original content, like for you to watch, to justify watching Paramount Plus or whatever. So they started a studio under Nickelodeon Avatar, Avatar Studios. And with that, they announced 3 movies and I believe 1 new show, or 2 movies and 1 show. Regardless, they announced new projects. One of them, the first one, is a new Avatar movie, Aang, which is following the story of the original cast characters as they grow into adults. So, if you guys don't know, in the original show, they were all like teenagers, whereas in the show that followed, they were all like super old or dead. And so now for this film, they're bringing them back into the fold, the original characters, in order for them for this new movie that's coming out on streaming. And that was the problem in the first place, was the um the studio Paramount decided we're going to put it on streaming first. Well, no, only on streaming, instead of releasing the movie in theaters. And so what happened was, I think on Monday, somebody on Twitter posted images and clips of the movie, like full on shit. And he was like, I have the whole movie in an email that was sent to me, the original poster. So then, like, hours later, like, yeah, like maybe that same day, he posted the full movie on Twitter, just completely there in, HD, 1080p. You could watch it. So from there, if you just go on Twitter, like anytime really, at least for me, it's just been there, the movie, and it's like an hour 38 minutes, and it's fucking good. Like I'm not gonna lie, I already saw it. I'm not gonna tell you guys how to get it, but it's on the internet. If you have like a movie website that you watch, a pirated movie website, or just go on Twitter, you'll find it. It's there. Um, they keep copyright striking it, but that's not stopping re-uploads because this is already out. You just download it to your device and then just watch it as you please. But it's just crazy how that happened, because supposedly they were, the person who originally had it got it all in an email, the whole movie in an email, because like I said, it was supposed to be on streaming. It wasn't going to be in the theater. So who knows what's going to happen next? I mean, they might. It was supposed to release on streaming in August, so we'll see what they do with that. If they end up releasing it early, releasing it in theaters, not. My buddy said they might not continue it anymore because of the money that they're losing. But I was like, nah. With the money they have invested in this studio, they're gonna keep making it, keep making more projects. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of like big Because I don't want to spoil it, obviously. New Invincible just came out, really good. Don't want to spoil that either. New Boys just came out. Don't want to spoil that either. Both are good. I would say Invincible is better right now. There's only one episode left. The Boys is like at a B. Invincible is like a B plus, especially from what I just saw. What and then Daredevil's like halfway there. It's like C plus, B minus range, not that great. And I'm also watching Darth Maul show that I'm not caught up with. But that's as far as entertainment. I'm waiting for the Mortal Kombat movie to come out in theaters in like a month. But besides that, we're good for this week. This weekend we got like I mentioned, playoffs for two leagues and WrestleMania. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I'll probably attend to there, boys. Good chat today. Appreciate y'all coming by, checking me out on this episode of the Everybody and Their Mom podcast. The podcast that everybody and their mom is fucking listening to. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.